Hi, my name is Derek, and today I'll be answering a real-life scenario question regarding to tort law negligence. In simple words, negligence refers to when someone performs a careless action so harming another person, hence resulting in physical, financial, or emotional losses. So, this question is about a grocery store incident where a customer named Aisha has sued Kadai Sagar for negligence, claiming that she has sustained physical injuries and financial losses due to a careless liquid spill on the floor. So, she is seeking for financial compensations for her damages. For the following question, I'll be using the IRAC method to briefly give an answer explanation. Firstly, we must identify the main issue of this case, whether Kurta Sagar is legally liable for the negligence claims that has caused Aisha's physical injuries and financial losses due to a careless liquid spill that has failed to be cleaned or worn. For Aisha to succeed in her case against Kadai Sagar, she must prove the four main elements of negligence, which are duty of care, breach of duty, causation, and damage/remoteness. If any of these four elements are not present, negligence cannot be proven. Next up, the R in the IRAC method stands for rule, where this section is to analyze the important law principles that are applied to negligence. Firstly, duty of care means that the defendant owes a legal duty to the plaintiff to act with reasonable care. As mentioned by the case of Donahue v. Stevenson, 1932, there is an important principle called the neighbor principle, which refers to when you must take reasonable action to ensure that the people around you would not be harmed. This principle is closely linked to duty of care. A great example would be the owner of a premise owes a clear duty of care to its visitors. Second, after proving the defendant owes a legal duty of care to the plaintiff, we must prove that there is a breach of duty by the defendant, where it means that the defendant has failed to meet the standard of care that a normal person would have done in comparable situations. There are a few factors affecting whether the defendant has breached his duty, such as how serious and likely the harm is done towards the plaintiff. Therefore, the higher the risk of harm occurring, the more standard of care that the defendant must have. The third element to prove negligence will be causation, where it must be shown that the defendant's action has directly caused the plaintiff's injury or financial losses. To prove for causation, the but-for test is essential where example, before the defendant's breach of duty, would the plaintiff still be harmed? Essentially, it means if the defendant has not breached their duty of care, will the plaintiff still be harmed? An example case study would be Barnett v. Chelsea Hospital 1969, where it is mentioned that the hospital was not legally liable for negligence since the patient would still pass away even if treated. Finally, the element of damage/remoteness must also be displayed for a negligence claim case to be successful. The damage of the incident must not be too remote, where a sufficient distance is needed, where the consequences of the defendant's action are reasonably foreseeable. A famous case regarding this element would be the wagon mount introduced in 1961, that the defendant is only legally responsible for the harm made that is foreseeable and direct. And the plaintiff must provide evidence to show proof for their harm, such as physical injuries, property damage, and financial losses. Now, onto the application part of the IRAC answering method, where we apply the relevant law principles mentioned previously onto the grocery store incident scenario. Hence, firstly, since Kadai Sagar is a resident grocery store open for regular customers like Aisha to operate their business, and according to the neighbor principle, Aisha is closely affected by any of Kadai Sagar's careless actions. Hence, duty of care is proven, as Kedai Segar owes a fair duty of care to their customers to ensure customer safety. Secondly, a liquid spill on the ground that has been there for an extensively long period of time is a reasonably foreseeable hazard that can cause harm to their customers. As well as a few employees have been aware of the liquid spill but did not take immediate action in cleaning or placing any warning signs. Since Kedai Segar did not perform reasonable action in informing customers about the liquid spill or cleaning it up, the grocery store has breached its duty. Third, by implementing the but-for test, but for Kedai Segar's fail to clean up the liquid spill or putting up any warning signs, Aisha would have not slipped and have been harmed. And the employee's careless actions has directly caused Aisha's injuries, so causation is established. Lastly, the damage such as Aisha's sprained ankle, bruising, medical costs, lost wages, and disturbance in her daily lives are reasonably foreseeable to be incurred when sleeping on the wet floor. Thus, damage/remoteness is clearly stated. In conclusion, Aisha will be very likely to succeed in this negligence case as all four elements of negligence are clearly established and proven with essential evidence. As Kedai Segar failed to meet the standard of care that a reasonable grocery store would have done in this situation. In the end, the court will most likely compensate Aisha's physical injuries, lost wages, and medical expenses as a reward for her case success. And that will be all. Thank you so much.